Let's talk Coachella Valley.
I'm Conrad Negron with Tina Marks, your host for a fun show.
Informative show.
We're going to entertain, explore the Coachella Valley.
Give people a lot of knowledge, a lot of things that you have not heard about. We're going to bring it to you here.
And welcome back for another amazing episode with Dr. Malcolm Lesavoy. Boy, that was maybe try that. Well, it is. Try saying that 5 times. Board certified plastic surgeon. Today we're going to be talking about facelifts, and I brought my oldest and dearest friend, Deborah Ma, to the show. She's going to be our demonstration, along with myself. Deb, why don't you go ahead and tell Dr. Lesavoy what your problem areas are, what you've had done, and what your concerns are.
Okay. Well, my problem area is the jowl and probably the neckline down here. I have had a little Botox. They gave me some Sculptra to supposedly pull the jowl line back, which didn't necessarily work. And then I've had Juvederm and Restylane and the newest filler, which is Restylane Silk. For some reason, this last time I had the fillers, it didn't take. I have the lines here, and then I have an extra line down here, and one line that goes sideways. Then they did a few different things to try to...
Where's that one? Let me see.
Right here. This one goes a little sideways. Yeah. Well, you know, when you look in a 10 magnifying mirror every day, you see everything. So,
and with your glasses on.
Right, exactly. And then they did some Juvederm, and then the Restylane and the Restylane Silk, as I'd said. So it didn't quite take well. Then they tried to do some subcision, which is they put a needle in here to move this around.
That's what I had for these lines.
That's sometimes to try to take the lines out. Then they did a Velismooth, which actually caused me several little welts down here. And then they did, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's like a round roller with needles. And they did this to also smooth the lines, which gave me extra lines.
Is that possible that it could give her extra lines?
Yeah, they used to do that in the Middle Ages, actually, when they wanted to get information out of people. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I know, it sounds painful.
I don't know, you're sure keeping those companies in business.
Exactly.
That's for sure.
Exactly.
Well, everything, all the backup was comp, so.
Okay, all right. Well, the point is that fillers, as we spoke, or as I will speak in the future, is good just to fill in areas of depression, not our emotional depression, but these lines. But if you have extra stuff, if you have extra tissues that are causing this, frequently it's better just to remove that extra skin and bring it back just a touch so it looks natural.
Now, I was told the Sculptra would help do that, would pull this back.
Yeah.
However, it...
Did it?
No.
No, of course not. Of course not. It's a filler. If you have a dent...
Why would a doctor say that? I mean, I guess that we could do a whole show on that.
I'm not my brother's keeper, or my sister's keeper, for that matter.
Okay.
But the feeling is that if one fills in one particular area, it takes away from the visual effect of another area, and in that sense, it may.
Okay.
But just assume that a filler is like, if you have a dent in this ceramic right here, and we take some epoxy, we put it in, it fills it in. That's all it does. It doesn't move this desk in any way. If you have extra stuff, and if you just lower your chin just a little bit so it's in neutral, and we're looking at some of this stuff here, this can just be pulled back very nicely and give you a very nice neck profile, just with an incision behind the ears and the jowl areas here. Instead of putting fillers into this area, I would do a little liposuction just right here.
Interesting.
To just bring this back and to flatten that just a little bit, because gravity plays on all of us. I mean, we have no control unless we walk on our hands upside down.
Thought about that.
Yeah. And so this particular area is ideal for a tiny little bit of liposuction and then some compression. And it's not that we're taking a lot of stuff out. What we're doing is basically roughening up the undersurface of the skin and the lower surface where the skin attaches to allow it to really stick down and to flatten this area out. And if there's too much, then we can remove the skin just by doing a minor lower facelift.
So when you
That's
do,
what I was gonna-
when you
a
do the
lower
liposuction,
Yes.
where do you do the incision?
The incision is behind the earlobe.
Oh, okay. So it won't
it's
show.
a tiny 2-3 millimeter incision.
So you would start with the liposuction,
I would.
and then
Yep.
if you still weren't happy, then you would go ahead and do a lower facelift.
And less is more. You don't want to look fake,
No.
in my opinion. if you see somebody afterwards, after I do this little neck or facelift, and somebody says, well, did you just change your hair? Did you
Right,
just
they
come
can't
back from
quite
vacation?
pinpoint it.
I can't tell. Did you used to have blonde hair and now you have black hair? That kind of thing. But I can't tell. You look healthy.
Exactly.
Did you change your diet? You're working out more? Is your husband treating you better or not? Oh, okay. So, that's the whole key. The key is natural, not fake.
Well,
right?
absolutely, I do
Yeah,
believe in that.
yeah.
I don't want to see too many people walking around with
terrible.
this pulled skin.
No, it's
and-
terrible. I have a lot of patients in Beverly Hills or Los Angeles and Encino, and they say, I can go to a particular restaurant and I can look around and I'll tell you exactly who's had a facelift. I said, yeah, you can tell me who's had a bad facelift. You can't tell me who's had a good facelift.
Right.
But
And that's the
you do
key.
want somebody to notice something, because if they don't notice anything, then
I want the person who is receiving it. No.
well, and you're like you said, they don't know quite what's different.
Exactly.
You have to seek some kind of
Frequently they say, oh, that you had something done, right? Something like that. And that's the key. But this now, we're doing all this under local anesthesia.
That's what I was just going to bring up. It's
Exactly.
local anesthesia. You're not completely under.
No.
It's done with a Valium sedative.
With a little oral Valium for sedation.
Okay.
And some local anesthesia. And the local anesthesia, I can get your entire face numb in less than 30 seconds.
And how long does this process take?
The surgery itself is about an hour and a half, and you go home, and it takes about 10 days or 2 weeks to really heal. A good facelift, and this is the same facelift I've been doing for many, many, many years. There's no shortcuts at all. It's just that we're not using general anesthesia. You don't have to go to the hospital. You don't have to stay overnight. You go home and you sleep
Is
in
this
your own
becoming
bed.
common practice that everybody? That most people-
There are many surgeons that are doing this now under local anesthesia, and it works out
But a lot
very,
are still
very well.
using anesthesia.
Yeah, most
and
are still using it.
anesthesia is very.
That's the key.
It's very dangerous for your body. Is it true that it takes a year to get out of your body?
No, not really, no. But sometimes a couple weeks, and you'll kind of feel like the curtain just lifting, when the anesthesia is clearing. So most of the time, when I see patients and they say, well, I can do it with general anesthesia, with an anesthesiologist in the surgery center, or under local, 9 times out of 10 patients say, I don't want to go to sleep, I don't want to, but you'll be sedated. And the only thing you feel are the shots that I put in, less than 30 seconds. It's even less than when you go to the dentist, except with Dr. Feld's are painless. His injections are painless. Yeah.
He's
But it works out very, very well. Very
Fantastic.
well. Yeah.
That's great to know.
So you do upper eyelids, lower eyelids,
That's correct.
full facelifts,
Yes.
lower facelifts. You do everything,
All
and
under
you're
local
going to be
anesthesia.
doing it on Fridays down here in the desert
Yes,
at the
I am.
Smile Center.
Yes, I am.
Yep. So anybody that's looking to get a facelift, have any questions, consultation, please contact Dr. Malcolm Lesavoy. So wonderful having you on the show,
Good. Thank you.
Thanks for coming
Thank
on,
you very
Debbie.
much.
You're welcome. Thank
bet.
you very
Thank
much.
you.